This terrifying dashcam video was recorded in India on November the 4th of 2024. The video starts by showing this scooter somehow falling, which made the other driver behind him also fall. But what happened next is truly scary. As you can see, they fell on the other lane and narrowly escaped being hit by a bus. The bus stopped as soon as he could, and he only drove on the scooter and not the driver. That guy lifted his head so quickly it was like a few frames were missing. One frame he's at the wheel, and next he's almost upright. They were all shocked, but thankfully nobody was hurt, and even the scooter was not damaged. I just want to add that it looks like it's raining lightly. That causes the oil on the streets to spread. That makes it more slippery. This disturbing video was recorded by a few kayakers on the Nile about a few days ago in Egypt. The reason why they started recording is nothing less than terrifying, and I can assure you I will never do something like them.
Sorry. It's okay?
No, that's all good, dude. Nice one. Jesus.
Fuck, that was a big cunt.
Whoa. Fuck yeah, dude.
Nice. Dude. Fucking hell.
Nice one,
I wish I
man.
hit him harder, man. Fuck, that was a fucking bad crock, that, man.
Dude,
the
the
size
size
of
of
it. There it is, there. It's like at 10 o'clock to you now.
Hit it. Yeah.
As you can see, they were looking at the water before a huge crocodile showed up right on their boat. That crocodile probably saw them from under the water for a while and was just wondering what it could be. The Nile crocodiles are one of the biggest and more aggressive ones in the world, so this could end up badly even more if there would be a few of them. The men started to hit the crocodile with their paddle. They even lost one. The kayaker still decided to go in the water, even if he knows the Nile is infested with these creatures. They will lurk from under, and before you realize it, they will jump up and drown you. I think kayaking in a river with crocodiles is madness in itself, but what do you think? Thankfully, no reports were made about them, so they went on their day safely. A 19-year-old woman from Eritrea narrowly escaped serious harm after falling onto the platform while attempting to reboard a moving train at Kano railway station on Sunday. The incident took place around 8 AM as she was returning from buying snacks during a brief stop. The CCTV footage of the incident has emerged. The young woman was traveling from Thalassery to Mangaluru on the weekly basis. She had disembarked to buy biscuits and other items, but was unaware that the train only stops at Kannur for 3 minutes. Rushing to reboard, she missed her step and fell, leaving her belongings at the shop. Alerted by passengers, railway police and catering staff quickly informed the driver, who halted the train for her rescue. She was taken to the district hospital, treated for minor injuries, and later continued her journey to Mangaluru on a different train. This brief halt at Kannur is often overlooked by passengers, occasionally leading to risky attempts to board as the train departs. This is the heart-stopping moment a man's ceiling fell down on him while he was relaxing on the sofa. The footage, captured on December 24th by CCTV in Hanoi in the Red River Delta region of Vietnam, shows 15 long ceiling panels come crashing down on an unsuspecting man. An ominous crashing and breaking sound starts, and the man, who appears to be sitting in his workplace, looks up at the ceiling. Suddenly, panels of the ceiling come crashing down all around, engulfing the man and leaving him totally obscured by white. The woman who posted the video said, "My husband was sitting in the room and suddenly the ceiling collapsed." Luckily, no one was hurt in this case. Another ceiling collapse was caught on CCTV in June 2020 in Ben Tre, Vietnam. On this earlier occasion, a boy is shown enjoying time at his computer when a huge bucket of water smashes through the ceiling. The container lands right next to his chair as metal roofing and water crashes down. His family come to the room and look around at the destruction caused by the collapsed roof. Drivers in Gyeonggi County, South China, were meters away from being flattened when a landslide pushed two houses onto a busy road. The incident was captured on November 8th by a surveillance camera that looks onto the road. Luckily, the owners were not at home. They have been relocated and there were no casualties reported. As the cars are driving, on the left-hand side of the footage, small pieces of rubble can be seen crumbling from a house. It only takes 30 seconds before both buildings collapse, creating a huge pile of rubble on the road. At first, cars drove around the falling rocks, but they soon came to a halt when several people on the street waved their hands and shouted at them to stop. According to the report, the landslide was caused by continuous rain in the area. One house was made out of bricks and the other was wooden. The force and weight from the mud and rocks was so strong they both collapsed. Local authorities and traffic police rushed to the scene as soon as the buildings collapsed and the road was cordoned off for traffic control. Since the incident, dangerous areas have been blocked off and experts are continuously monitoring the activity of the mountain where the landslide came from. Residents are being told not to go near the danger zones and drive carefully. This crazy clip was recorded by villagers in Dagestan in the southern part of Russia next to Azerbaijan. It was recorded in 2020 while an avalanche hit the village. Luckily, no one was on the mountain at that time, and when it arrived at the village, the avalanche lost its speed, but look at what damage it caused.
Cara.
All villagers had enough time to escape, but unfortunately some of them lost their homes. It continued on for a while before coming to a stop. Cleaning this up will take a lot of time, and it is not only snow but debris too. If you only remove the mass directly above, the trench will collapse from the lateral pressure. Somehow the slowness makes it more terrifying. You see massive landslides and things that happen very quickly and are very impressive, but the slowness of this lends it a kind of inevitability. You're watching this massive, unstoppable force creep forward and have time to process and imagine that destruction that follows. If you want to see what true friendship is, you should probably watch this whole clip as this guy saved his friend's life. As they were walking on the side of the road, a truck passed by, and immediately his friend pulled him away as a container was falling right on him. He barely missed it, but thankfully it is now just a bad memory. That reflex is too prompt and heroic. This totally unexpected video was recorded by a CCTV camera somewhere in India showing 3 men and one being busy on a phone call. They were probably on their break, but certainly did not prepare for this. As it steps on the other side of the pipe, the ground collapses underneath him and ends up in the sewage, I think. Not 2, but the 3 men fell in the sinkhole as they were trying to help him out. Eventually all came out, but they definitely were unlucky to step exactly where they should not. I think the ground was weakened after heavy rains or a bigger storm in the area. This unfortunate event happened in Hanoi, Vietnam yesterday. The clip shows a few people gathering outside of this store called Pier Barbershop just before it collapsed. Apparently the house foundation was weak and that's why it collapsed. Thankfully people knew it would happen and evacuated the building before. It's pretty surprising as the building didn't seem too old, but when it's built randomly, this is what can happen. At 2 p.m, there was a head-on collision between Unit Grain Train CBECPN07 and Unit Auto Rack Train at Ferromex KM Post A915 at Estación Opal in the northern part of the state of Zacatecas. This is on Ferromex's main stem, approximately 130 miles south of Torreon, Coahuila, and not far south of Camacho, Zacatecas. Both trains were empty. Indications are that the southbound Autorack train was holding on the main line, awaiting the arrival of the northbound grain train so that they could pass. The grain train did not stop at the south end of Opal to take the siding but continued on the main and collided with the Autorack train. At least 4 locomotives and 14 cars were derailed.